Cytokinesis. Cytokinesis is a process by which cytoplasm is converted into two daughter cells. This process differs in plant cells as compared to the animal cells. If we see in this diagram that one cell has been converted into two cells, cell number 1 and cell number 2. This is the result of cytokinesis because all the four events of the mitosis, that was prophase, metaphase, anaphase and telophase, has been occurred, and as a result of cytokinesis, single cell will be converted into two cells. Here we can see that both the cells, they are still joined with each other. Ultimately, these two cells, they will be separated. Cytokinesis differs between the animal cell and the plant cell. In case of animal cell, there is a cleavage furrow. That cleavage furrow pinches the membrane of the cell and ultimately converts single cell into two cells, each part containing the nucleus as well as other organelles of the cell. In this diagram, we can see that how an animal cell is converted into two cells with the help of cytokinesis. In the middle, there is a cleavage furrow. This cleavage furrow pinches this cell membrane, and ultimately from this point, cell is converted into two daughter cells. This is the second diagram where we can see that a single cell that is in oval shape, that contains two nucleus, nucleus 1, nucleus 2, and there is a deep furrow by the membrane, and ultimately from this point cell is converted into two daughter cells. Cytokinesis in plant cells. In case of plant cells, there is a plate which is formed in the middle of the cell. That plate is in the midway of the cells. In this diagram, we can see that how a single plant cell is converted into two cells. This is the single cell where we can see that chromosomes are at the poles in the form of nucleus. There are two nucleus, and in the middle there is a spindle equator, and this spindle equator ultimately there starts to become vesicles, small vesicles, and these vesicles, they start to grow, and ultimately after the growth of these vesicles, one cell is converted into two cells. The comparison of cytokinesis between the animal cell and the plant cell. In case of plant cell, here a single cell which has two nuclei, and there is a cleavage furrow between the two cells, and ultimately by the contractile ring and the deep furrow of this cleavage, this cell will be converted into two cells. While on the other hand, in case of plant cells, there are vesicles which are being formed in the middle of the plant cell, which can also be seen here. These are the nuclei, and once this plate is formed, this plate converts single cell into two daughter cells. If we conclude the cytokinesis is a process that converts the cytoplasm into two daughter cells. Each of the daughter cell contains its nucleus, genetic material, and all other cell organelles. But there is a difference between cytokinesis in the animal cell and in plant cell.